What's up, gamers? Welcome to episode 16 of the Busted Buttons video game podcast. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the sad news of the delays of some of these reveals and announcements we were hoping to hear. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Nintendo Directs potentially being canceled at least for the rest of the year. Then we'll actually get into some good news and talk a little bit about Paper Mario, the Origami King, an upcoming game for the Switch. We'll talk gaming conventions, workout video games, and do they work? And then also kind of what happens when you get into a video game slump, when you just don't feel like playing anything. So before we jump into the gaming topics, I just hope everyone's staying safe out there. 2020 continues to be an insane, crazy time. First, you got the pandemic. Now you got protests. You got riots. So if you're in one of those cities where things are going haywire, things are going crazy, just stay safe, stay out of trouble, and hope everyone, keeps their head on. So, but anyway, with all these protests we're getting right now, we've had a little bit of a wave of cancellations and postponements on game reveals lately. We've had the big PlayStation 5 reveal that we've all been waiting so anxiously for was delayed. The Madden 2021 reveal I just saw right before we started recording. A Cyberpunk 2077 stream was delayed. And they're all saying it's, we don't want it to take attention away from the protests, from the bigger issues. So I'm going to go ahead and let you kind of give me your thoughts on these delays, how the companies are handling it, and what do you think's going on?
I mean, I think it's a good decision by the companies, to be honest with you. They said the right thing. I don't know who said, maybe PlayStation or whoever, but they're like, we know it's not a time to celebrate right now. And that's true, because this last one, we're not going to get too much into the politics because this is a video game podcast, but this one was bad. This last killing of George Floyd, this one was really bad. So, I think it's a good idea to kind of put this off because, as they said, there are more important voices that need to be heard right now. And we shouldn't really be, there's nothing to really we should be celebrating. It kind of sucks with the whole pandemic and everything,
Of course.
And then this on top of it, like you said, 2020, let's just all erase 2020, throw it out, and then move on when the year's over.
Can we hit reset on the front of the console?
Which is like 6 months away still. But, I think it is the right decision. But, it does stink from a standpoint, we're letting the important things happen. But from a video game standpoint, it does stink because, with the pandemic and everything, more people are getting into video gaming. They're playing more, and they're also getting back to it. So it's kind of been exciting to hear these reveals because there's so many things that we're missing. We don't have sports for you and me. There's just all these things that are getting delayed, high school graduations. I didn't have any of those, but just all these things that aren't happening this year. So when you get these reveals coming, it's something to look forward to in a time where there's not a lot to look forward to. And so, from that point of view, it does stink. I think they're going to do it in a month or so, let this kind of whole play out, as we should. And then I think they will say something because they do need to release more information before holiday 2020 and their systems come out. But I am bummed about the PS5 one. I kind of wanted to see more about that. I don't know if they were planning on doing exclusives or not, but, it would be awesome to see more exclusive stuff. Madden, haven't played Madden in forever. Don't really care. I know it's a huge franchise, so I know that one affected a lot of people. And the Call of Duty Seasons, I guess, is that their new online thing they're doing or whatever?
Yeah, it seems like shooter games here lately, and Fortnite was really one of the first ones to do it. They have this seasonal content where as you play throughout a set time period, you can earn rewards specific for that time period. They're calling it seasons. You can buy season passes to get additional content, things like that. I don't 100% understand it because I don't play online shooters anymore, including Fortnite or anything like that. But they do seem to be pretty hugely popular because it seems like every season you get new content. You get a new map, you get new avatars, you get new skins for your weapons, things like that. So people really seem to enjoy them, at least enough that they keep paying for these season passes. But it is a good revenue stream for the developers.
Definitely.
But yeah, I guess for the Modern Warfare and what's the Call of Duty Warzone, I think is their big battle royale style game. They've said that they're going to delay the start of the new seasons, and I'm 100% with you. I do think it's the right decision by the companies. The way they're messaging it is very smart and very sympathetic to what's going on in the world, and they're absolutely right. We love our video games. We want this news. There are bigger things going on, and it's good to have those voices be heard. It does suck. The big PlayStation 5 stream this week was, I know so many people were excited for it. And because we've gotten so little information on the PlayStation side, like we've had a ton of information from Microsoft, pretty much everything except exclusives.
Yep.
But PlayStation, we haven't even seen what the thing looks like yet.
You know, so what? 20 years ago, we hardly got any information.
True.
And this is what we talked about on the podcast. Like, getting all this information, like, you know, before the launch kind of ruins the surprise of it. So
does.
what? So what? We're not getting all this information. It's going to be more of a surprise. It's going to be a better surprise. And maybe they will go back. They won't. It's not the age of technology to do that. But I was hoping that maybe they would go back to not giving us so much information. Maybe we could, with this whole pandemic and everything that's going on and these delays and the protests, hopefully they can find a middle ground on, you know, giving you just the right amount of information before, like, you know, a console comes out. But kind of speaking of these cancellations and, like, you know, reveal cancellations, I guess they're technically just both fucking cancellations. I don't know why I had to say both of them, but there have been rumors that Nintendo is also canceling directs. I don't know if it's for the foreseeable future or if it's just, I think you said in the intro, it's for the year, but kind of like, what's your whole opinion on that? Like, I know we've really bashed directs like lately, but when they have good directs, like, they are good. So kind of going along with all this stuff, it kind of stinks that we're also not going to get some Nintendo information. So what's your opinion on the whole thing?
Yeah, and this was a story that came from, I think, Venture Beat, I think was the first website that said it, and that Nintendo, because of the pandemic, is having a hard time putting together a full-blown, like, reveal direct presentation, that they're basically telling other developers, like, hey, don't wait for a direct to reveal your games.
Yeah.
Just if you have footage you want to show and a release date and everything, go ahead and show it.
Well, what are all the indie developers supposed to do? Because that's what indie directs are. That's what Nintendo directs are now. It's just all indie games, it seems like.
It does seem like it. So it does hurt, I think, some of the indies getting the exposure. Of course, you know, the first game we really saw that took advantage of this new model was the Paper Mario, which it seemed like they just dropped that trailer out of nowhere. But in general, I'm kind of sad about it. I do love the directs, even when they're geared towards games that you or me may not play. Like, I know you and I aren't really big on the indies. You know, the Pokemon Direct, the Animal Crossing Direct, which are still fucking Nintendo Directs. I don't care what anyone says out there on Twitter.
Yep, I agree.
I got to get that dig in there. But no, it's just, they're always fun to watch and they're always so well done. And when they do have surprises, it's usually pretty mind-blowing. And I know Nintendo usually does one kind of around the time of E3, which should have been, you know, this month. It should have been in June. So it sucks to see them go by the wayside because they were always so anticipated. They got everyone talking. You could see some awesome reveals. So I am sad to see it go by the wayside. I get where they're coming from if they're saying, hey, we just don't have the logistics to do it with the pandemic going on. Yeah. But, I mean, it seems to be like with the telecommunications technology we have and everything now that they could find a way.
Yeah, I think it's an excuse. I don't agree with that because everybody's figured out a way. Most people have figured out a way during the pandemic to get your message out there. And I think it's all digital. So there's no reason they can't put together, in my opinion.
I generally agree with you, but I am with you. Like you said, it's sad if it's true because even the ones for games we didn't care about, we still watched and they were still interesting to see. So I am bummed about it. But like I did mention, we did get one big recent announcement for the Nintendo Switch, and that is Paper Mario, the Origami King, which will be the first Paper Mario game on the Nintendo Switch. And I don't know about you, I've never really played a Paper Mario game, but what do you think about this reveal, and is it a game that you're looking forward to?
Well, considering that I've still not watched a trailer, I would say that I'm really not that excited about it. It's an RPG kind of game, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really not my style. You know, they're not being... You know what? I probably will check it out. It probably spend $60 damn because once again, Nintendo, you're not giving me hardly anything that I like. Yes, I know you have Animal Crossing. You all have heard this bitch of mine before, but you're just not giving me anything that I want. So I might look into it because I gotta look into something, Nintendo, because you're not giving me fucking anything. So, you know, I'll try it out. I'll look into it. I might get it I gotta really look into this one because I looked into Animal Crossings. I still don't feel bad about that purchase because, you know, I did enjoy the game. I didn't enjoy the game. I enjoyed the beginning parts of the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful. I knew that it was a greatly developed game. Like, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. So I'm not mad about that because, hey, you tried. I'm willing to spend money to know sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I did with Animal Crossing. I spent the money. Now I know.
You did the same thing with Luigi's Mansion 3, right?
Yeah, and that one worked out.
Two?
So,
Yeah. It's hit or miss.
I'll probably look into Paper Mario, whatever it's called. Paper Mario, the Origami King. Yep. I'll probably check it out, look into it. I know. I would say I'm more likely to buy it right now than not buy it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just going to have to look into it, to be honest with you.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I have a bit, and it's totally random. I've never played a Paper Mario game, but I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the series. You've heard me mention on here before that you've heard me mention the Super Mario RPG back for the Super Nintendo is still to this day my absolute favorite game of all time. There's been some contenders in the last few years, don't get me wrong, but it is my favorite game of all time, and they always build there was going to be a Mario RPG 2, a Super Mario RPG 2. But just kind of like they do with the Zelda franchise sometime, they decided to go in a whole different direction with like the art style, with the mechanics, with the story and everything for when it eventually became Paper Mario instead of Super Mario RPG 2. And I kind of looked at it when it first came out. I think the first one came back all the way on the Nintendo 64. And I kind of looked at it and I'm like, nah, I don't like it. I don't like it because it's not
What
Super
do you
Mario
do in it?
RPG.
I don't even know what like I said, I've not watched the trailer. What do you actually do in the game?
So, as you know, it's called Paper Mario, so it looks like a lot of like exploration and combat and puzzles are based on like folding the levels, folding items. Like, I don't know if you know anything about like what origami is, but it's just basically folding paper into shapes. And so it sounds like a lot of the puzzles, and just from the trailer, I know there's not a whole lot of info out there yet, but just it's just like and combat, exploration, and puzzles kind of all based on this folding. So it looks interesting. It looks unique, like something they haven't really done before. So I'm kind of with you from the standpoint that Nintendo has not given me a lot here in the last, 6 or 8 months now. Yeah. That has been up my alley. That has really interested me. And so even though, like I said, I've been kind of having a quiet protest against this franchise now for since the Nintendo 64. I didn't realize. I was looking at this earlier today. This is going to be the 5th entry in the Paper Mario franchise. I'm like, when the hell did that happen? So, but yeah,
I don't know, man. To be honest with you, this sounds like the stupidest fucking idea ever. Like you're like combating like folding pieces of paper. Like I'll still look into it because when it comes to gaming,
at least watch the trailer. It's really hard to explain.
Yeah. Nowadays, I am more open-minded. I am more willing to look into things and try them. Yeah. I don't know. Sounds like a stupid idea though. But it's kind of, I kind of want to stay on this, not necessarily Paper Mario, but we kind of talked about like, the Switch really not having like any games for us lately. And then we're kind of talking about the Direct and everything and how they're not going to have any more of that. Like, what really is Nintendo, like, what's going forward for them? Because, okay, they had this new Paper Mario, I believe, coming out this month, correct?
I think it's the end of June, yeah.
Or but then after that, what is there? Because, okay, you have Mario Kart 8. That was released, like, I don't know exactly, but 4 or 5 years ago. You now had a new 2D Mario. I don't expect a 3D Mario yet, but we could have something. Now, I know you're not doing the Nintendo Directs, but you released a trailer for Paper Mario. You could do something similar, like, a reveal trailer. That's what it would be called. You could do like a reveal trailer for a new 3D Mario game, but like going forward, and like, this is why I'm so upset with the Switch. Yeah, I know you released some of those games like Pokemon and Animal Crossing lately that, yes, are doing very well, but for gamers like me and you, those are not our type of games. And like going forward, like there's nothing on the horizon that gets me excited about Nintendo. Whereas Xbox and PlayStation, you got new consoles coming out, new games. So what's the future of Nintendo? I guess, for us in a way, but also the future period, there's just not a lot to be excited about.
You're absolutely right. And it sucks because there's just a lot of rumors, a lot of unannounced stuff, coming, but a lot of it sounds like remakes. I mean, we just had the Xenoblade Chronicles Deluxe Edition remake just dropped on Friday, just recently, I believe. And I know a lot of people love the Xenoblade Chronicles series. I played some of 2 when it first came out on the Switch. But again, it's not right up my alley. And I'm with you, like, Pokemon's not really my thing. Animal Crossing's not really my thing. And Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm like, I don't know if I'll have time to commit 100 hours to an RPG like that.
But that was a remake, correct? Is the first one?
That's a remake. I believe the first one was on the 3DS, where you had to have the new 3DS to even play it.
The new 3DS. There's only 3 iterations of the new 3DS, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, we don't have much else on the horizon. Like you said, they've been rumored to be doing some remakes of classic Mario games because we're in the 35th anniversary of the Mario series. So there were those rumors not that long ago that they're going to be remastering some of those, which is absolutely great. Don't get me wrong. I would love to play Mario 64 or Mario Galaxy, something like that, or Mario Sunshine, which I've never played, just on the updated Switch graphics, like maybe throw it in the Mario Odyssey engine, however you do it. But again, it's another remake. It's a remake, and they're just
but I could handle that remake. You know, I would take back everything I said about Nintendo. If they drop 3 or 4 Mario remakes, I will shut up, man. I will not say a word the rest of the year about it. But it stinks, man, because we've kind of talked about this. Like, I really like the Switch. Yeah, it's not as powerful as the Xbox or the PlayStation, but I do like that portable aspect of it because I can play and watch my kids in the living room at the same time. So I do use it. I do like it. I can lay in bed and play it. I can take it wherever. Usually it's in the house, but I can still take it away from the TV. I can take it in the bathroom. So there's all kinds of places you can play, but there's just nothing there. I know that they have the Super Nintendo and the NES with the Nintendo Switch Online, and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to go back and play a lot of Super Nintendo games, but I don't because of, the backlog. Like, I already got enough games I'm going to play, so if I go back and play
computer gaming now, you got even more games.
So if I'm going to go back and play a game like Super Nintendo game, like, it's just going to be very sporadic. So that's why I've kind of not got into it. But anyways, kind of with all these reveals being canceled, like the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic has caused the cancellation of a ton of these gaming events and shows that we have going on. I kind of just want to talk to you about this because we've known about this for a long time, but it's still kind of a bummer. And definitely E3, which was supposed to happen either this week or next week, that was definitely a bummer. But how do you feel about these whole game cancellations and shows getting canceled? And also, like, you and I don't believe have ever been to one. How would you want to see? Would you ever want to go to one? And if you did, what would you want to see?
Now, it does suck, of course, like everything else that's been canceled or delayed. Of course, it's a pain. We're gaming fans. We love these events because of the news that always comes out. You always get, even for the shows that don't, or the companies that don't even attend something like E3 now, which I know several companies have pulled out of it, they still always time some kind of live stream to have a bunch of reveals to go along with it. So I feel like we're really losing that. But you're right. I've never been to one. I think I would like to sometime. They seem like a lot of fun. You get some good, just collector stuff, some swag for going to them, and just getting to be around that many other gamers who are into the same things that you are, who love games as much as you do, that are, they love it enough to travel to one of these conventions. Like, that has always appealed to me. But the big thing, I just want to be there to see some of those reveals, to be there live when they announce some of these games. And it's just, to me, that would be the number one draw, I think, of going to one of these. And the other is the demos. Like, they always have kiosks set up for you to actually try out, or not always and not every game, but a lot of them will have demos set up to try it out and just see how it plays. And of course, it's always not in a completed state. It's not the finished game. It might be one level, something like that. But it'd still be fun just to get your hands on some of these new upcoming games. So to me, just the upcoming stuff is the big draw to me. And then also, like, every year they do like panels where they get like a number of developers up there and they discuss issues either in development or social issues with gaming, and it's just interesting to hear a developer's perspective and hear them up there chatting and answering questions from fans. So to me, I think I would be interested in attending for those reasons. Plus all the cosplayers, just the awesome outfits that you see. I mean, people go all out for this stuff, and the girls usually look really good. I got to throw that out there.
Well, we have that one thing. Oh, what's that one thing here we have in town called?
Gen Con.
Gen Con. Yeah, we have Gen Con here, and which is more, I believe, board games and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
tabletop
like board
games.
And tabletop. Yeah,
but like they dress up for that, dude, and it's awesome just going around downtown and seeing all the crazy outfits. Like one time, I literally saw a guy now Halo's not a tabletop game, but all decked out as Master Chief, and it was awesome. Yes. So I agree with you. Going to one of those events, it would be completely awesome to see the cosplayers. I'm not gonna say anything about the girls because I'm married and everything, but
Your wife listens to the podcast.
I'm not gonna disagree. I guess. I guess I just said something, so I don't even know what like the purpose. I'm just gonna move on. Anyways, the reveals like now. See, that's more digital, and so like I don't really think when you like if you go to an event, yeah, you probably would see reveals, but I think more when you go there, it's kind of like you said the demos, but then you also got the setups. Some of the setups are unbelievable. And then you got the merchandise. That would probably not be a good thing for me, but I would love to see all the stuff.
Leave the credit card at the hotel.
Yeah, but I would love to see all the stuff that you can buy. Not really sure if I want to go all the way to California to attend E3, but I would like to go to one of them. Do they serve alcohol there?
I actually don't know. That's a very good question.
That would be a definitely. We could sneak some.
We could sneak some. That's what.
Yeah, we got flasks. We can sneak some in. But anyways, that would really make it better if they had the setups and everything, and then they had a bar. Somebody let us know if they have alcohol at gaming conventions because damn, I might go very soon. But kind of anyways, that was a really short topic that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But coronavirus has canceled all these events, and we keep on talking about all these cancellations.
I know.
There's a theme going on, obviously, with this podcast.
Sorry.
But it's made people stay in their homes. And with gyms being closed, or they're kind of opening a little bit, I think, but for the most part, they are still closed, or there's not a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to address a topic that we had in the outline last week. I said, that's the stupidest topic ever. We're never going to talk about it. You're sitting here at the very end going, next episode. And
here we are.
Damn it. Here it is, workout video games. What's kind of your whole opinion on the whole working out video game market?
I'm kind of all over the fence on workout video games. Call me old school.
You're on the fence about working out, period, man.
Well, that's true. I can't disagree with you there. But to me, it's just like I grew up where you play video games, sitting on your couch, laying on the floor, whatever, in front of the TV, holding the controller in your hand. Like that to me is still, even to this day, is like the essence of gaming, or sitting in front of a computer with a keyboard and mouse. I remember like when the Wii first came out and like not Wii Sports, but like some of the Wii Fit games and things like that came out, and just the Wii controller in general with the weird format, you could kind of split the two controllers apart and relax a little bit more. To me, it just felt so unnatural, and the Joy-Cons honestly have kind of continued that as well, but I usually play with the Pro controller, so it's not a big deal. But it just blew my mind when they started coming out with some of these fitness oriented games, because to me that was like, my thought was that's not gaming. That's not gaming. And I know that's like such a limited view set, a very old school mentality, but to me it felt unnatural. It felt a little weird and out there. And as time has progressed a little bit, and we've seen a few more and more of them that came along with the motion controls. I mean, even going back to things like the Just Dance games or the Dance Dance Revolution, whatever. I don't know if I would necessarily call those fitness or workout games, but at least you're up and moving. You're up and moving, but I don't know. I'm so torn on this, because I'm like, if people use them and they work, then that's fantastic. If they work for you, but to me, it's like, that's not really gaming. It's just another way to try to force the motion controls that were so prevalent, about 10 years ago, however long it's been on us. So I'm all over the place on them, like you said, just like I am with exercise.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so what do you think?
Nintendo did sell really well on that gimmick, and that's what I think it was. Yeah, we still have a little bit of it today, but in my opinion, like the Ring Fit Adventure, I know it's doing good, but I still think it's a fad. I think it's a gimmick. The market, I think, is very small. It's a very niche or whatever, however you say it. Yeah. It's one of those small markets. I'm kind of with you, man. Gaming is like, you don't game to exercise. Like, you can get out and exercise in different ways. And if you're exercising while gaming, I'm with you. It's not really gaming at all. So, like, here's the thing. If you're going to do this, you can't really use controllers. Like, this has to be like, I guess I'm thinking of the Kinect here, because I did have a Kinect for the Xbox 360.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have one for the Xbox One, but it would kind of track your movements. And so, like, that kind of works a little bit, because if I'm working out, I don't want to have to hold a video game controller, even if it is something like the Wii controller. Yeah. So, like, the Kinect, it didn't really record your motions that well when you were using it, and it was very glitchy and stuff. And so this is something like, there's no other workout machine or software out there that I know of that actually records you doing stuff. Like, there's
Yeah.
a coach and stuff like on a screen. Like I have
yeah,
one of those exercise bikes that has like, the TV on it. Dude,
Yep.
I don't use it as much as I want to. Oh, dude, it was freaking sweet though. But like,
Oh, yeah.
that's how exercising or coaching, which these working out video games, that's what they are. They are coaching, like they're coaching you to work out. And so like, the thing is, like I said, like it's usually you watching a coach and then doing something. Whereas if you're doing like a video game, it has to record you in some way. And that to me is not how fitness really works. So I'm really not that big of a fan of them. I think there's always going to be that small market that is
definitely
going to work for them. But I think if you're going to make it like a fitness video game, you got to make it fun. Like it can't just be fitness. For example, remember back in the NES days, they had that track and field game. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But they had the pad and everything where you like, you would run on it like crazy and then jump up or jump off of the pad is how most people did it. And then jump on at the very end. Like it has to be something like that where it's a lot of fun. It's not working out. And I think that's the only way it can work. But as I said in the very beginning, I think it's a fad, very small market. It's a gimmick. And video game, you're already seeing it kind of return to what we believe video gaming is.
For sure, and especially when the Kinect and the PlayStation, Move or whatever it was called, have kind of gone by the wayside. I know the Move is still used a little bit for like VR, virtual reality gaming, but other than that, like you only see the fitness stuff now, it seems like, on the Nintendo side of things, or at least that's where I hear about it. Going back to the Wii Fit, I mean, they had that little balance board thing and everything else. And to me, that's more the kind of fitness you're going to get from these games. You're not going to build a bunch of strength and endurance, I don't think, playing these fitness video games. I think they're more for just very light fitness workouts. I know some people have said that some of them do give you, some of the exercises do give you a pretty good workout. But everything I've read, the Ring Fit Adventure I read into a little bit, and it's just everything I've read, it's like you get a good little workout out of it, but you're not going to like build a bunch of strength or cardio by doing it. I mean, for that, you really do have to lift, run, bike, something like that. So I'm so torn on it. I'm glad when they do well. And I know in Japan, it seems like, there is a big focus on fitness. Like, I mean, you have companies that have like yoga hours and things like that during the work hours to get people out and moving and staying fit.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different culture. So like, we're talking about, for the most part, I think America, that's concept's not going to work in America. But yeah, if you go to Japan or somewhere, not necessarily China, because they don't, however, them and Nintendo are fighting or whatever's going on with them. Yeah. But like if you go to somewhere different, like the culture is different and it can work. But as far as the American market, I don't think it's going to work here.
No, I don't think so either. And if you're someone who might be a little bigger or who's not in very good shape, then yes, maybe a lighter like video game fitness workout is a good gateway into working out. Like you make it some kind of game. I know Ring Fit Adventure is supposed to have like some light RPG, like level up kind of elements to it. And if, like I said, if you're already a bigger person and you need the workout, or if you're looking to just get started and just do something, then it's better than nothing. I will absolutely say that. And if you find a way to make it work for you, then that's absolutely great.
Agreed.
I still think it's a substitute for going to the gym, getting out and running, getting out and biking, or even just lifting and doing push-ups in your own home. But that's my take.
I kind of want to hit on something really quickly here. You talked about virtual reality. Can it work with virtual reality?
That would be an interesting one. And because I have heard and seen people playing some of these VR games that require a lot of like arm movement.
Yeah, like Beat Saber.
Beat Saber, thank you. I was trying to think of the one. I remembered I went to a Dave & Buster's back before this coronavirus stuff hit, and on a work thing, and one of my coworkers was playing like a lightsaber version of that with a VR helmet, and he was moving. Like that kind of thing looked like a great workout. So to me, I think if you can combine it with VR and something that upbeat, which I'm pretty sure Beat Saber is a very like intense game. So when you have that much movement and you make it that fun with the whole VR, or like I said, that arcade made it, lightsabers from Star Wars. I'm like, that is awesome. I would give that a try. If I paid for VR, but
here's how you get me in the
VR
best shape
as much of a fad as anything.
Here's how you get me in the best shape possible. you put like a virtual reality horror game and you have just these motherfucking zombies chasing me, dude, and I'm just running, like virtual reality running in place, that will get me in better shape than anything else that I can ever do. So you know what? I think, I don't know how much we're going to see with virtual reality, but virtual reality does get you up, get you moving more. So I think it's a concept that, we could, I could definitely see working out in the future. And then also, like, they can make it more fun. Like, these working out video games, as we said, like, in my opinion, they're not a lot of fun. I think virtual reality can make it fun and then also kind of give you a workout. But anyways, sometimes or always, like us, you're just not in the mood to work out while playing video games. I want to sell my butt. It's my time to relax. It's my time to get away and just enjoy going to like a different world. I don't want to have to exercise. I'm just pissed. You know what? I didn't even want to talk about this topic. And I said in the last podcast, at the very end, even though I put it on the outline, I didn't want to talk about it. And as I've already said, you're sitting there, next episode. And then you somehow miraculously remembered to put on this fucking outline. So here we are talking about it. I'm glad that topic is over. But anyways, sometimes you're just not in the mood to work out while playing video games. Me and Red were never in the mood.
Never.
But here's the thing. Sometimes you're just not in the mood to game at all. And like, I kind of guess you could call it, I don't know, a video game slump, or just what the hell's wrong with you? Get your ass, like, in gear and get your shit together is what I think it's called.
Right.
But these video game slumps where you really just, I don't know, man, you don't really feel like gaming at all, or just something's like not hitting or not clicking with you. Like, have you experienced this? Like, how did you get through it? What do you think's the best way to get through it? Just kind of talk about all of that.
It's actually funny. What made me think about this topic, I'm in a little bit of a mini video game slump myself right now. I know that's hard to believe because we talk about gaming on this podcast every single week. You guys know I'm playing Death Stranding. I just beat all these other games last month. I'm playing Doom on PC. I've got all this going on. But the last week, I have not fired up a video game at all.
You're probably burnt out a little bit.
And that, honestly, I think that's the biggest cause is burnout, because this whole, what are we in, 3 months now? 4 months of this quarantine.
It could also be that drunken bender you've been on too.
It could also be that. But we won't worry about that guy. But no, I do think like when you play so much in such a short period of time, because when we couldn't leave the house, everywhere was closed. What did we do? We played a shit ton of video games. I mean, I did burn through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Control, Donkey Kong Country, Uncharted, all those in a very short time frame, and it really did kind of burn me out. So I like Death Stranding. I like Doom. They're both very fun, but I'm having a hard time getting myself motivated to fire either one up. And it's not a time commitment thing. I mean, I have kind of been hitting the sauce a little hard the last week or so.
I was just messing. I wasn't messing around. I knew, but hey, hey, we're both home all the time, so
right. So, and plus stores are finally opening back up a little bit, so I'm finally getting outdoors. So it's but to me, it's just every now and then you get in one of those slumps. I mean, right now it's only been a week, so it's hard to call that a big slump. But when we talk about it damn near every day of our lives, it feels like a slump. So, but for me, it's just, I think that's the biggest cause for me was burnout. But I know sometimes, maybe there's not a lot of interesting games. Even when you have a backlog, sometimes it can be hard to find something that looks interesting right now, or sometimes if you have a bunch of other shit going on in your life, you just, you're mentally exhausted. You might be physically exhausted. Do you really want to play a video game, or you just want to turn on Netflix and like sit there and do nothing? So to me, there's a lot of causes. I think my little slump right now is just kind of being a little burned out, and like just the excitement of actually being able to get back outside and see people again while still being halfway responsible about it. It's really combined to make me not really that motivated to fire up a game. So, but what about you? Do you go through these cycles sometimes?
I mean, I think I do. I really can't. Jeez. Oof, that was a good start right there. I had all this time to prepare to come in talking. My allergies, people. Once again, my allergies have been the worst that they've ever been this week. And so, I don't know. I guess I was just sitting there, man. I was ready to fire, and, just a dud. Just a dud right there. But anyways, sorry everyone for that little cough and yak and whatever. But I kind of forgot what you were talking about. But I've really not had a slump at all, because really it goes down to the kids. Like, I just don't get a lot of time to play video games. So when I do get the time, I always enjoy playing them. Like, it's very hard for me to sit down for 6, 7, 8 hours. No matter what my wife says, it's very hard for me to sit down for that long and play a video game. So that's something like I used to experience more back in the day. Don't experience it too much now. But I think what your problem is, like, I mean, you're knocking out these games so quickly. I know for me, it's kind of like I want to play a linear game. Okay, now I want to play an open world game. Okay, now I want to play a first person shooter. I think when you're cycling through them so quickly, I think that's kind of like where, okay, I don't want to play a linear game because I just played this. Well, I don't want to play an open world game because I just finished this. And so you kind of hit all your genres in a very short span. I think
I really did.
that's what could be your problem. I think it's honestly just burnout. But, you mentioned a good point. Like, you talk about, here's the crazy thing. Like, we all have a backlog, but there's some reason those games never get played. Because they're just not that great or we're not that excited for them. Usually we got them.
And that's why they haven't been played.
Most likely because they were on sale. And that's why we got them. So, like, you got your backlog and everything, but you got to be filling games. And
you really do.
With that backlog, it's not just having a backlog. Like, you got to have a backlog that you're excited about. Games that you really want to play. And you do hit a point, because I have hit this point lately where I was like, okay, I really, I'm going to play this game, and then this game, and then this game, or, kind of play them both at the same time. Yeah. And sometimes there's that point where, maybe, like, I know what happened with me. Like I said, not really hit a slump, but there was a point, like, recently where I was kind of like, what game do I play next? And I hit that point when I got done with all the PlayStation 4 exclusives that I wanted to play.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, I want to play this one, I want to play this one, I want to play this one. And it provided, like, 2 years of straight gaming for me. And then once that kind of stopped, I was like, well, what PlayStation exclusive do I play now? And that's why exclusives are so fucking important. Because third parties on they're on every system, but Switch graphics are kind of, they're not as great. But like, to me, like, it's important. The exclusives are important for that reason, because they give you something to be excited about. But I don't know. I have hit that point recently. I mean, is there anything you kind of want to say on that?
Not really. It's just, kind of a way another thing I've noticed that can cause it, and I think you and me both experienced this after Witcher 3. When you beat an absolutely amazing, awesome video game that as soon as you put it down, you're like, whoa, I've been playing this game for X. It's been blown my mind for, 6 months, however long for a game like that. You kind of feel almost like a hollowness after you complete a game like that, where you sit there and you're like, I don't even want to fire anything else up. That was perfect.
Man, when you told me that, you're like, man, when you get done with Witcher 3, you will feel an emptiness.
There's a void.
And like, you are exactly right. Like, there's an emptiness. It has still not gone away.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where sometimes you finish such an amazing experience and something you've played for a really long time, and it just kind of leaves you there a little bit exhausted. But I think with that, I'm a little exhausted from this podcast, because I feel like all we've talked about is negative topics.
Yeah, man.
Like
we'll try to be more positive in the next podcast, because like you said, there's a lot of negative shit on this one.
There really is. But we'll go ahead and wrap this up. All the links for everything we're going to talk about can be seen down below in the description. If you feel like it, you can always support us, please, on Patreon or PayPal. Patreon's kind of a recurring thing. PayPal is a one-time thing. If you can't contribute that way, which we absolutely understand, we totally understand it, you can always click that 5-star review rating and leave us a review for the podcast, even if you didn't like it. I know, because of our depressing topics, this may have not been a 5-star podcast for you. Lie and give us 5 stars anyway.
Hey, if you leave a review or a rating, it also helps with SEO and it helps us rank higher. So please help us out.
You can also check out our websites. We've got Two Guys Playing Zelda and TGPZ Gaming, where we have merchandise, some awesome video game and Zelda-related merchandise. Now, we may earn a commission on that. It is affiliate sales, but definitely go check those out for some great gaming merchandise.
And then, we also got some Facebook groups. Gaming Realm just hit 3,000 members this week. That Facebook group is growing, so go check out Gaming Realm. We also have Zelda Realm. Not as, as popular, but at the same time, it's one franchise. But still, I think we have over 600 members in that one. Just overall, great discussion on both of those. Absolutely. We have our YouTube channel for Two Guys Playing Zelda. Over 10,000 subscribers. A lot of videos. Did a lot of that back in the day. Still doing it, but we did a lot back in the day. Great stuff.
Still doing it.
Check it out. We also have one for TGPC Gaming. Basically, just put our podcast on there. So if you want to listen to this podcast on YouTube, it is on our TGPC Gaming YouTube channel. We also got our Discord channel. Definitely check that out. We have great discussions across Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, alcohol, sports, soccer basically. But great discussions on there. And then as always, social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram. We have Facebook pages. Go like those Facebook pages. That also helps us out. But anyways, sorry you all. Very negative podcast. Red put the outline together. So blame Red on that one. Like all this negative crap. We promise we're going to be more positive, more happy next week. And then, but you know what? Until then, we'll see y'all. Have a good time and keep on gaming.